Hey guys, we are less than a year away from Bitcoin halving, which means the bull market is about to come our way. I decided to add the Coin Bureau's video where he took apart the top altcoin sectors, and I'm going to show you 4 altcoins from different categories that have a high chance to grow tenfold in the next bull market soon. Let's break it down now. Before we start, I would like to thank my viewers for getting 3,000 views and 70 subscriptions in just over a day. I am so happy, and at the end of the video, I have prepared a bonus for you. So let's go! The first sector the Coin Bureau mentioned was the Solana killers. Why Solana and not Ethereum? The point is that poaching liquidity from Ethereum is not going to be easy. Even despite the wild fees, Ethereum remains the top 1 blockchain for applications. Solana offers a similar infrastructure as Ethereum, but with faster and cheaper transactions. However, Solana is not the only one that solves Ethereum's problem. I will now tell you about the Sui blockchain and why it has every chance to grow 13 times and get into the top 9. That's where Solana is right now, and also why Sui can repeat the success of Aptos and grow very fast. Sui Network is a layer 1 blockchain like Solana, or Aptos, founded by former Meta engineers. At its core, Sui blockchain is very similar to Aptos. Even the funds that invested in both projects are very similar. But more on that later. In total, Sui Network has attracted almost $400 million in investments from large funds in all of its rounds and token sales. Very similar to Solana, only without Alameda. And we remember, where there are funds, there can be a pump. There are 10 billion Sui tokens, of which only 600 million are on the market. The rest are blocked on smart contracts. That is, only 6% of the total issue of Sui is available for sale. What does this mean? If there is little supply in the market, the price can very easily be pumped because there is no seller in the market. Major token unlocks by funds and early investors will begin in November 2023. Until then, the big investors have time to stockpile the Sui price so that they can then sell the coins to retail investors at a very expensive price. Just like it happened with Solana and Aptos, Aptos traded sideways for a while and everybody forgot about it. That's when the main growth happened. The same may be true for Sui, so keep your finger on the pulse. Friends, I would ask you to remember one important thing. No one knows where the price will go, and history does not guarantee something will happen again. So there are risks that Sui will not surge as well as Aptos. One of them is the very high FDV. Sui's total capitalization is already 12 billion, which is 3 billion more than Aptos. So take that into account. And then we are moving on to another new and promising token. The next promising sector that the Coin Bureau has touched is Layer 2 blockchains. These are blockchains built on top of Ethereum in order to scale it. The list of L2 blockchains includes Optimism, Arbitrum, ZK Sync, and others. One distinguishing feature of these blockchains is that they don't really need a token. They all use ETH to pay commissions. But now, let's break down a project that can create value for its token. We are going to talk about Arbitrum. I have often analyzed Arbitrum in my videos, so I won't go into details. Let me just remind you that it is a top 4 blockchain in terms of liquidity and the only blockchain from the top 10 where liquidity grew in a month. The ARB token currently only plays the role of a voting token. However, recently the Arbitrum community has dispersed a percentage of the DAO's earnings to ARB token holders in accordance with the number of tokens each bearer has delegated. The idea is to create a mechanism and distribute a portion of the profits from the Arbitrum ecosystem to ARB token holders. This will add value to the token, but there is a risk that ARB will be classified as a security. Therefore, there is still some debate about this idea. ARB is currently trading in a sideways trend without much change. The key support zone is $1 and resistance is at $1.80. I expect Arbitrum to continue to trade in this range if there are no significant changes in the market. If we look at the chart of Arbitrum versus Optimism, we see a significant increase in ARB versus OP. This might indicate a liquidity spillover from OP to Arbitrum. Also, the fact that Optimism has daily unlocks, which put pressure on the exchange rate. Arbitrum's unlocks will start only in March next year. So I would bet on the growth of Arbitrum versus Optimism. In the next part of the video, we are going to analyze two tokens, which can show a very good result this year. Be sure to watch to the end. The third sector that Coin Bureau talked about is decentralized storage services. I will highlight one project here, and it is Render Network with RNDR token. I have already analyzed this project in my videos, but I will say a few words. Render Network is the leading provider of decentralized GPU-based rendering solutions. Render raised $30 million from Multicoin, Solana, and Alameda. The latter investor may be a concern about the project, but Alameda has invested in hundreds of crypto startups and only a few have closed. Render is also partnering with Apple, which is not to be forgotten. Let's move on to the charts to see the upside potential or downside risks of the RNDR token. After a long accumulation phase, RNDR skyrocketed and has now entered the distribution zone. This is where large investors can sell their assets and take short-term profits. However, during the next bull market, Render has great potential to grow several times over, especially with the development of AI and other technologies that require GPU processors. Next, let's break down a project that is directly related to this year's biggest trend. And so, a bonus token. Coin Bureau missed one very important trend in its video, which even Elon Musk talked about several times. As you may have guessed, it is the trend of a neural network and AI development. Today we are going to look at the top AI project, namely the Graph and the GRT token. The Graph is an indexing protocol for querying networks like Ethereum and IPFS. But we are more interested in the GRT chart. The token has been in a long accumulation zone for almost a year now, which may be a sign of a position taken by large investors. Locally, I see a zone of 10 cents, which has been acting as a strong support for GRT for the last 2 to 3 months. Now the capitalization of the project is $1 billion, and at its peak, the capitalization of GRT reached $5 billion. This is about the potential for GRT to grow during the next bull market. Let's look at the dynamics of GRT in relation to other AI coins. Here we see GRT rising against AIGX, and here you can see the growth of GRT against Fetch AI. Overall, GRT shows strength and has the potential to surge this year. I hope this video helps you to not miss the next top assets. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching your Coin Post.